So it feels like I've only been awake for like half an hour or something like that, but there's been a pretty hefty update/leak regarding the upcoming Bleach the Thousand Year Blood War Arc anime adaptation, which I know we're all really excited for, and so I wanted to talk about it briefly here as there's some really cool stuff in this leak, most particularly this new piece of key art for the anime, this new key visual, because for me, it features something that I thought was glaringly missing from our first look at the anime not that long ago, that first trailer we got, which of course is the brand new set of bad guys in this arc, the Sternritter, who are what I am most excited to see from this new anime. So to see them front and center like this on this new key visual is like a dream come true. It's really exciting, and I can't wait to dive a bit deeper into that image a bit later on in the video. But before that, I just want to do a kind of roundup of everything, every piece of information that's coming out in these leaks today. So for a bit of context, there's a show happening on Saturday called the Anime Expo 2022, where Bleach is expected to appear in a pretty big way. And that puts me on edge a little bit because I'm not here on Saturday, really, which is great timing. But I'll try and do what I can, try and get something out as fast as I can for that update. But in regards to the leaks that are coming out about this big Bleach anime news, accounts Shonen Leaks and Goat Pepito have posted on Twitter, which has then trickled down into Reddit, a few big updates regarding what we are going to see. So the first is that new amazing key visual, of course, which really showcases the main conflict of the Thousand Year Blood War in a really exciting way, which of course we'll talk about a little bit later, but also that there is a new trailer coming for the Thousand Year Blood War Arc anime as well, which again we'll talk about our hopes for what we'd like to see in a second trailer too. But also, really interestingly, episodes 1 and 2 are getting early pre-screenings on September the 11th. I don't know if that means that everyone will be able to view them, or if it's just going to be kind of going out to select people, maybe press or something like that, because the anime itself is supposed to air in October, which it says on this key visual as well, so I'm not entirely sure if we're all going to get to bask in those early screenings of episode 1 and 2, but that would be really exciting. But either way, September the 11th, it's not exactly far away from October, so either way there wouldn't be that long to wait. But if we briefly talk about what I would love to see from a new trailer for the anime, fairly close to the anime's release, I can't imagine they're going to give too much away. Certainly I wouldn't if I was in charge of it. But I do think now is the time to show us the Sternritter in action. And if this key visual is anything to go by, I think they're going to do that. As I said in my predictions for the first trailer, I would really keep it to the first invasion as much as possible. Maybe kind of ignore anything that really happens after that. Certainly I wouldn't spoil any of the big revelations that happen in this arc. Most of them happen post the first invasion. I think there's plenty there to really excite anime-only viewers, to show them this big battle that happens right at the start of the arc, which for many people is one of the best sequences in Bleach as a whole. I would love to see that. I would love to just see the Sternritter actually in action for once. That would be seriously exciting. Maybe with some kind of tease at the end regarding Ichigo's new Zangetsu, something like that. I could see maybe. But regardless, I'm really excited, and I hope it is slightly different from the first trailer we got, which really did feel like more of a tease. After that came out, I mentioned that I thought only really the first part of that trailer, with Ichigo, Orihime, Chad, and Uryu fighting those hollows from chapter 480, felt like it was probably from the episode, whereas the rest of it was, it was like the kind of storyboard moments, but like actually coloured in as though they would appear in the anime. So I'm hoping this time for full fluid animation, the entire thing, to really show us what we're in for in just a couple of months, which is awesome. And now to just kind of wrap this video up, I want to talk about this key visual, because this has got me really, really excited. I'm so excited to see mainly the Sternritter, but it's so cool to see the captains and then the Sternritter. At the moment, this key visual is not in great quality. A high quality version, I have to assume, will come out when the issue of Shonen Jump that includes this comes out in a couple of days. But for now, this is easily good enough for us to talk about and to speculate on. So I'm going to start with the Sternritter, of course, because that's by far the most exciting part. This is the first time we have ever seen them in what I presume is how they are going to look in the anime. And you might be looking at the Sternritter and thinking, this seems like a pretty eclectic bunch. They seem to be pretty random who they have chosen, but actually I think this is supposed to be a focus on the first invasion, which makes tons of sense to me. What I think this is meant to be is this is meant to be at least the vast majority of Sternritter who participated in that first battle. Because you've got a focus here on characters like Bambietta, Asnot, Kangdu. BG9 is in this picture, but like absolutely tiny, kind of on Az's shoulder. So if you kind of zoom in, you can see him a bit better there. Robert Akutrone, who actually looks really cool. I think he looks really cool. And then on top of that, you have First Invasion characters like Driscoll Bursey, Kirge Obi, who I'm really excited to see, and then the guys who get killed by Zaraki, Jerome Berenice and Lloyd. I'm presuming it's Lloyd because he is with those other two, which makes sense to me. It could be Royd, I guess. Doesn't really matter either way. It's funny because I've seen some people on Reddit this morning having no idea who Berenice is. and I think that's kind of like fair enough because you don't ever see her looking like that at all, really. There's that one tiny coloured shot of her in the double spread on 640. But, I'm not too surprised that some people are like, who on earth is this? I will say that seeing characters like Berenice and Jerome like this, it just makes me wonder, are we actually going to see them fight? We might do. The 1,000-year Blood War arc, but the first invasion specifically, if that's what we're really looking at, is ripe for expansion, for really injecting new moments into it. And I think that fight with Kenpachi is dying for it. It is asking for it. It's easy filler, and it's stuff that people want to see. I would love to see that. I would love to see those Sternritter actually have a decent battle. And you can do it without removing the impact of Kenpachi just arriving with these 3 corpses on his back and dumping them on the floor. Just show it as a flashback. Because that's kind of what Kubo does in the manga, but because he only has like a page to work with, you get one panel. You could easily drag it out to show them actually having a decent fight, and I'd be way alright with that. So it's really awesome seeing these characters surrounding Yuha Bach himself. Really cool. It is funny to see this key visual and to think where a lot of these characters end up. Like Kangdu looks awesome in this picture because Kangdu is awesome and he ends up doing absolutely nothing, which again I really hope they change. But like his Wolverine claws he looks seriously menacing in that picture. I'm just really excited about this key visual. Obviously characters like Basby and Hashwolf are there. Basby doesn't play a huge role in the first invasion, but he is there. And my boy Askin is here front and center as well. Now, Askin is in the first invasion. He appears in chapter 494. Nobody else has that. You only see like this much of his face downwards, but nobody else has that cheek and lip combination going on. So he's definitely there. The fact that we see him again in this key visual so pronounced means 2 things, in my opinion. Either he's going to have a bigger role in the first invasion, or he's just here like this because he's a popular Sternritter. And I will say that from this low quality image so far, he looks so much like Aizen. They've given him like a full-on Aizen expression and everything. I kind of love it, but he looks great, and I'm so excited to see him in action. There are a couple of things that I think we should talk about regarding what we didn't see in the manga that might now be here in the anime because of this key visual. The obvious one is that appears to be Sternritter W the Wind at the bottom, Nyanzol Wyzol, who doesn't appear in the story itself until the end of the second invasion when Yuha makes it to the royal palace. So Nyanzol being here makes me think that if this is supposed to represent the first invasion, it makes me think he's going to have a role to play. It's possible that I've seen people throwing around speculation. It's possible that Nyanzol is the one facing Ukitake at the start, but I would be more inclined to say it's Askin, because that Sternritter doesn't seem to have long black hair, whereas Nyanzol has extremely long black hair. It's possible then that Nyanzol fights somebody off screen and we just have no idea who he fights. That's totally possible as well. I can't remember if it is ever confirmed who attacks Rukia. I think it's Giselle. I'm pretty sure it was confirmed to be Giselle, so it's weird that she's not on this key visual. Maybe they will make it Nyanzol, but I don't know about that. That seems unlikely to me. It's possible Nyanzol will just play a brand new, unspecified role. There are other characters in the first invasion that don't appear on this key visual. Well, I say that. I think there's maybe only one, which is weird in and of itself, if we don't include Giselle, which is Pepe Wakabrada. Now, Pepe appears chapter 500. He takes over some members of the research and development division. So it's weird that he's not on here. If this is really what this is supposed to be showcasing, but regardless, it doesn't really matter. And then you have the captains. There's not much to say about them because we know everything about them already. We've seen them all in the anime before. Of course, they have their awesome new looks. Mayuri has his really cool look with the massive golden headdress that I really liked. I didn't think it was around maybe as long as it could have been. But of course, it's really cool to see, Yamamoto standing in the center like that. That's really, really exciting. These kind of images are exactly what I want to see from the 1,000-Year Blood War. These kind of mirror images between the two like that. That's really exciting. And I just can't wait to see more. I don't think there's an awful lot more to say about the captains. Shinji up in front like that, making him look like he has an important role to play. Awkward. The captains, they all look really cool. Like Komamura is there looking like a badass. Kyoraku, Ukitake, Hitsugaya, they're all accounted for. And it's just really, really exciting. Really, really exciting. I can't wait to see it all in action. And one last thing I want to point out is this art style they seem to be using for these characters is really quite unique. It's quite different from how the anime used to look. Now, I don't know exactly if this is literally how they're going to appear in the anime or not, but it does seem to line up with how the last trailer looked, which is less detail overall, but really popping colours, really making everything stand out and look really awesome. And I can't wait to see this in action, because I feel like it might look, in general, a bit more like the Burn the Witch anime looked than the previous Bleach anime. And Burn the Witch was beautiful, in my opinion. It was really fluid, really colourful. And I think the 1,000-Year Blood War, it's kind of interesting. It's difficult to say, because the 1,000-Year Blood War is like a really kind of... It's Bleach at its darkest and its goriest, but also at its bleachiest, if that makes any sense. It's very, very tropey. It's very big on the flashy attacks, the crazy abilities, and I think they will all look amazing in this new style. But at the same time, I think the 1,000-Year Blood War arc would lend itself to a slightly more serious tone. But regardless, I can't wait to see what they have to show, and I'm really excited either way. But that is it for this video, guys. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't done already. Give the video a thumbs up, and we do have a Patreon as well where you can support me and get videos early, and you can also just support me for as little as $1 a month. All the people showing up on screen right now are doing just that, helping me out, and thank you guys so very much for that. But do let me know in the comments below what you think of this new key visual, and what do you want to see from a brand new trailer, and do you think we will get to see these pre-screened episodes early? Let me know, I'd love to hear it. But until next time, guys, I'll catch you later. I'll see you then.